Good morning, YouTube. So that is our little morning routine with the dogs. I come out and they always want to, wrestle right after a good breakfast. So now that that's out of the way, I got the generator fired up, ready to charge the house, and because it's a little cloudy today, I figured what a good time to do some MacGyvering, should I say. Now, if you haven't been following me the past couple days, I've been getting ready for our goats that are coming tomorrow, putting up a little fence, barbed wire, converting a old fuel building into the goat house or goat shed, whatever you guys want to call it. If you haven't been following, I'll leave a little link up here so that you can check that out. And one of the things that we're having a issue with past couple days is figuring out how we're going to get the goats up here. Being that this is the last bit of livestock that we're going to bring up here to get our homestead fully functional. We were thinking, like, do we go and rent a stock trailer? How do people get their goats up? And from what we've been looking at, many people that don't have a livestock trailer, they kind of MacGyver their own little way of getting them up there, either converting a trailer that they have into some sort of pen that they can hold them. And being that I only have a cargo trailer, that's not going to work because I don't think that's enough air, and I can't really keep my eye on them as we're traveling, and some of these roads out here are really rough this time of the year, and the ruts are just huge. Some people prefer to toss their goats in the back seat and just lay down a tarp with a little bit of hay and do it that way. Now, we could do that, but it's not really economical or smart because we're going to be getting 3 goats from the looks of it, and I don't think that's really going to work in the back by myself because Kimberly's going to be staying home and doing the work and looking over the house while I'm gone for the day picking up the goats. So one thing I came up with is I'm going to build a little contraption in the back of the pickup truck here using some good old-fashioned lumber that I found around on the homestead. Now, this is not going to be a professional job by any means, so I don't recommend you guys following what I'm doing here. I'm just showing you kind of what we have to deal with when you're living out here and you're left with minimal resources to get the certain projects or certain goals done. Now, I've run around the homestead and found whatever wood that I had to get this build, and I've got some good long deck boards here that I'm going to cut up, and those are going to be my main braces. And then I got some barn board here and some 2x4 back here that's been painted green, so I'm going to have that new and improved look for when I'm driving down the highway. So what I'm going to build is a cage in the back of my truck here so that I can get the 3 goats in there, and they're also going to be contained. They're going to have lots of air, and I can keep an eye on them through the back window so that when I do go over those very rough patches of the road, that I can kind of gauge how the goats are reacting and how they're doing. Hopefully they don't hurt themselves, because I'm telling you, there was a 6-mile stretch there when we just were in town a couple days ago, and it was pretty bad. And for an example of how slow we went, it took us about 2 hours to do 100 kilometers of road, and that's just a straight dirt road. So you're really not moving that fast because the roads are so bad, and some of the ruts, I'm telling you, are probably about 2.5–3 feet deep. So if you don't have 4-wheel drive, good luck. So let's get this started. I got the generator running right now, so I have some power here so that I can operate the good old skill saw. And what I got is these planks here. I got them marked up that they're going to be about 6.5 feet long each, so that's going to be my bottom rail and my top rail, and I got 2 of them, so I got 2 for each side. And I really didn't know how big to make this contraption because I'm not really sure how big the goats are. And from my understanding, they're going to be about a year old, and so I'm not expecting any more than say 50 pounds for these goats, but they could be up to 75. I don't know. We'll find out. Now, I figured what I'm going to do is, these are my longest planks, and because I need a top and bottom rung no matter what and 2 sides, the best way to do it is just to cut it in half. So that will give me 6.5 feet from the back of the box to the front, or wherever it ends up. And then from there, I'm just going to make it as wide as the bed is itself, or just in between the wheel well, and that way it's not impeding anything. And then the top, I'm just going to leave that open, and the side that's facing the back of the cab, I'm going to leave that open because I will have the back of the cab that close the box off from one side, so I technically only need to worry about 3 sides. So let's get this all plugged in, and we're gonna start doing some cutting. So what I did with these down pieces here is just cut them in half into 4-foot pieces, and then I also dropped it halfway down the board. And the reason I did that is because I want to have the maximum height in the bed so that the goats can't jump out. So if I gain a what's this here, this is about 3 3/4 inches, so I'm going to gain 3 3/4 inches on each side, so that's about 7.5 inches altogether. So I'm sitting here screwing this in, just looking at this wood, and I'm pretty glad that I'm just doing this with scraps, because at the price of wood these days, I'd probably be looking at like a $3,000 job just to bring my goats over here. So I'm telling you, I don't know how people are actually building houses anymore. Like a piece of plywood now, 3/8, or what was it that I saw? 3/8, 4x8 sheet of plywood now is $100. Like, are you kidding me? I found 2 4x8 pieces of plywood yesterday, and they were 1/2 inch. I thought I struck gold. I should put them on Kijiji there and retire. Okay, as I'm building this, I'm also having some thoughts that the openings here are going to be too big for the goats themselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another divider right down the middle here. Maybe I'll actually add 2 just to block it off that much smaller, and that way I'm safe no matter what. So, you know, these things aren't planned. This kind of a figure it out as you go, like anything in life, right? Alright, so what I want to do now is, let me get my pointing stick out here. I'm going to measure from this side here over to this side here, and that'll be my width that I'll have for that, and I'll use that on the same as the top, even though that they're flaring out, because that's where they are butt up against the wheel wells, as you can see on this side here. So I just need 2 pieces this way for the top and bottom rungs, and then I'm going to see how I can figure out the rest of it. Okay, so now I'm back after having to relocate. The rain started coming pretty strong there, and then after I moved everything over, I had to play where's my tape measure. Have you ever done that? You're so focused on a job, you know where everything is, and then you have to pack up and move over and like reset, and then next thing you know, it's that one tool that you need that's putting you back. So went back in the house, got a second tape measure, and as I'm coming out, I see the one I was looking for. Anyway, we got this contraption made up here for the goats. So I used the 2x4 here. I used the whatever this is here. This almost looks like a 3x6 here for the bottoms, and then I used some plywood just for the entrance here. This is where I'm going to load the goats up. So this piece here is just tacked up now. I'm going to pull that off. Goats are going to go in, and then I'm going to close this off, and then they can't come through. I also had to add a piece at the top here that just goes crossways. That way it just kind of prevents the box from actually shifting and twisting in itself. And then I also added at the back, I added tie downs, one at the back at the bottom, and then I put a 10,000 pound tie down over top, and then to the actual truck itself. I think it's gonna work. Again, this is not a professional job here, but when you look at this, it's got probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of wood. So you have, like I said, a 3x6, which is a custom made piece. You have 2x4 here. You have barn board, which is specialty board, and then you have this looks like 5/8 plywood. So if anyone's looking on a deal on lumber right now, I could probably let this whole thing go for probably like $2 grand, because to be making it these days out of a store, you're probably looking about $3,000. I'm not gonna include any of my time that I spent on this. We'll just call it $2,000 even, and go from there. But all jokes aside, I'm gonna kind of clean up in the shop now, and then get ready to pack up for tomorrow and load up these goats. So stay tuned. We're gonna go get these goats and see how this works out. You see that road? That's what I gotta go down. So I went into town and picked up the goats, and oh, hi Tank. Yeah, I thought I had goats in there. Oh, the goats are in the back seat. Oh, that's right. The cage that I built didn't work. They were obviously getting out of it. They were escaping as we were loading them. So I put Tank in the back there, and I got the ride along here with me. I got 3 of them back here with me. 2 females and the male back here. Alright, anyways, I'll see you on the next video. I gotta get down these good times here.